Ray, do you agree with the Steelers that his dancing shouldn't be a penalty?
Look, I've never had a problem with dancing. I just,
Yeah, right.
I just never had, right? But if you go back to 1999, 2000, I remember when we started kind of creating like little dances and we would like do them together as a defense if we made a big play. So then the league came down on us and was like, okay, more than one player can't celebrate, right? So they made it clear, right? I think now what you have to do with if you're the league is you have to make a clear decision on what you're going to allow and not allow. For example, look, I understand the sexual acts and whatever you want to call it, but these are dances that, cheerleaders do. All of these people do these dances. And when he gets in there and is isolated doing it, are you saying because the act of it is bad? Because if it's not a football gesture, then how do we define it? So you take Aaron Rodgers throw a 70-yard touchdown, right? And he runs down the field and he's doing the belt the whole time. What's celebration? Like, how do you separate the difference between if it's too much, if it's over? I mean, because that's his personality. Aaron Rodgers probably can't dance like that, so Aaron Rodgers would never do anything like that. But they do what they do, and I think the NFL is going to have to take a hard look on which route they're going to go. Either you can do whatever you want to do, or they're going to have to take it all out at once because everybody's different and everybody comes from totally different background. And what Aaron does is totally different than what Antonio Brown does, right? If Antonio was doing it in somebody's face, then that could be a problem for me. But for him to just do what he does and just have the fun of the game, look, I understand it. But the rule book says something different. And that's where he has to be really careful, as well as the Steelers. They have to be careful with because the rule book simply states if it's a sexual gesture. Some of the dancing that's out right now can be considered that.
If it's suggestive or sexual in nature,
Yep.
you will be penalized
That's it.
and you are subject to a fine.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get any clearer than that. I get it.
Yep.
There's only 1,600 guys out of 7 billion people in the world do what they do. Now, 7, 8 years ago, I was on record as saying, look, the NFL doesn't need 1,500 Terrell Owens, but they don't need 1,500 Peyton Mannings either.
Right.
You have guys, let them show their personality.
Mm-hmm.
You can do, but look, I think I knew Antonio Brown. If you want to do that, do it. But you're gonna have you'll get a penalty for your team, and you're gonna get that mail, you're gonna get that letter, that FedEx package from from New York. So you understand that. I don't understand what's so complicated.
Right.
You know what would draw a penalty. Now they're making it look. They said suggestive or sexual in nature.
That's it.
Or just in poor taste.
He know what
Okay.
that is.
All right.
I mean, the guys know what they are. I mean,
Yeah.
the guys, look.
That's what I said.
They know what they're doing. They know this is wrong. So if you're going to continue to do it, your team's going to get penalized 15 yards, and you're going to probably get a $9,500 fine.
Yeah. You're going to have to decide, bro. They're going to have to decide. Either allow it or take it out. I'm telling you, because the issue is going to be hard to ever win that issue because of, you're right about that. But you got the world we in now, bro, the cheerleaders on the sideline are doing the exact same dances.
But ain't nobody paying attention to the cheerleaders.
But it's the same cameras. But the only difference is this camera is isolating on players. That's it. Billy White Shoes Johnson years ago, right? Used to do them legs,
And
crazy
they
legs.
used to have the Washington Redskins did the fun bunch.
Yes, right. So,
But they've laid the precedent.
Which
all of
right.
last year, there were 7 penalties that were called for celebration.
Mm-hmm.
There were 7 in week 1 alone.
Right.
So now this is where we are, Skip, Ray.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep.
This will not be tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you do it, it's 15 yards for your team, and it's going to be a fine of $9,000 or more, according to how many times you do it.
Declare it.
So, Ray Lewis,
Yeah.
a whole stadium waited every Sunday for your dance.
Yes, sir.
But it was pregame, it was during introductions,
Yep.
and it was classic. I don't think any part of it, if memory serves, would have qualified as sexually suggestive. I don't think so, but maybe I'm missing something, but I don't think you intended it that way. And it was memorable, and it set the whole stadium off, right?
Right.
It was, everybody waited for
Best
that dance.
intro in sports history.
In history, I give you that. And I think it set the stage for a lot of home wins for your team because it got the crowd completely up out of their seats. But now, the NFL has drawn a line that needed to be drawn.
Yep.
Because I'm going to be a little more suggestive here. We're talking about pelvic thrusts. Is that
Yes.
that's where we're going
Yeah.
to pelvic thrusts. When we get to twerking or whatever you want to call the dance, it involves pelvic thrusts that are in poor taste. And there are too many people watching who don't need that.
Right.
And I don't know what he's trying to say. I don't know if they're intended at the opposition, because we could go there too. Like it's so derogatory toward the DBs you just beat. So the NFL says, no, can't go there. And yet I read it, it got to this crazy place yesterday. I read a quote from one of the Steelers defending Antonio, saying that he was actually imitating the Key and Peele routine. Joy knows what it is, in which a player named Hinkle McCringleberry, I think that's what they called him, is actually scoring. I think it's Key who's doing this, and the ref is watching him, Peele watching him. I think I might have him backwards, but watching him, and he does one thrust, two thrusts, but there's a rule in their skit where you can't do three. Three's a flag, and he's watching, boom, he does the third one, and the flag is thrown. And this happens 3 times during the routine, and it gets funnier and funnier to the end when he barely does a little tiny pelvic thrust, and the flag is
comes
thrown.
anyway.
But my point is, the player's saying, hey, he's just imitating. It's a parody. They are parodying what is happening in the NFL. So you can't tell me that you're going to imitate a parody of what you're doing, because it's going to get penalized, whether you like it or not. So it's like the kids in the locker room are saying, oh, but Key and Peele did it. No, they're making fun of what you can't do. And so the young Pittsburgh players didn't get that.
Right.
And the thing is, if you look at basketball, when someone misses a free throw, they miss a last-second shot, what do they do? They hold their neck like this.
Yeah, that's-
You can't do that in the
Nope.
NFL.
Right. Nope.
So you know,
That's yeah.
we're smart enough to know
Absolutely. Yeah.
what's acceptable.
But that's why I said it's the bottom line is if it's clear, it's clear. It is
Yes,
what it is.
yes.
The question was, do I have a problem? I'm a dancer. I love to dance. I love to celebrate.
Well, you know,
You don't.
I don't want to see them do it. They got places that you can go see them do
I
that if
got
you
it.
want to.
I
But
got it. But
when
the
I
culture-
come to the game, I don't want to see no
Is that
guy
because you
twerking.
can't dance, Shannon?
A lick.
You can tell us.
A lick.
You can tell us.
You cannot dance a lick.
Huh?
Shake.
We won't judge you.
What?
Man, please.
Joy.
Don't make me.
He got one step side to side.
That's it. I'm too cool.
Wait.
You live right
They
here?
don't dance.
He ain't moving from there.
Wait, you just called out on your own show by your friend.
First of all, I put this on. I'm not trying to get sweaty. He don't gonna tell you. I go. Hey, I'm standing just like this and sipping on ginger ale.
The whole time. The whole time.
Who
No lie.
goes to the club to sweat out their clothes?
Me. I like
You
to sweat.
sure do.
I like to sweat. I like to dance. I like.
Isn't that the whole point?
No.
Yes.
So you just go to watch people.
I go stand.
Listen,
Wait.
the whole night though, and he'll sit there and I say, "Shake, do one move," and he'll just step aside.
I said.
But can he dance for real?
Oh yeah, he could.
Okay,
He could
all right,
dance.
all right.
Shirt all untucked.
Yeah.
Like somebody poured a bucket of water over his head. I'm like, for real.
Okay.
I'm like, come on, let's go. It's time to go.
Time to
You've
go.
been dancing. It's 1 o'clock. You've been dancing since 10.
Yeah.
Let's go.